Hey guys, this is Cam for 15 back at it with another video for you guys, and we are back with another Fairy Tale 100 Year Quest manga chapter review for you guys. And man, was this chapter, I thought this chapter was pretty good. Again, this was just more setup building for what this arc is going to be about, and well, I'm guessing the arc I asked for, well, are we going to get Fairy Tale versus Diablos? Well, I'm guessing this is going to be the arc where we get Fairy Tale versus Diablos with the influence of Selene in this arc. And so far, seemingly like the first matchup is going to actually be something I never expected. So we'll get to that and everything. But the funny enough, it was like the chapter was actually came out officially yesterday, but you know, a lot of people, I was waiting for the chapter. I was checking the thing. Like especially sorcererweekly.com, like, okay, is the new Fairy Tale chapter released? The new Fairy Tale chapter, and everywhere I went, it's like, oh, it hasn't released yet and everything. And I'm like, and I'm going to the Fairy Tale wiki, and I'm like, but it's saying it's releasing November 3rd. All of a sudden, I check out this morning. Oh, it released. So I'm guessing it took a while before people got their hands on them and stuff like that, and eventually doing the fan translations and stuff like that. But yeah, let's get into this manga chapter because this manga chapter was dope. This is Fairy Tale 100 Year Quest, chapter 94, titled Battle Dungeon. Now, the cover page is a really damn good cover page art. We see Elfseria in the back and a nice drawn Natsu there. It looks pretty badass. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it looks cool as shit. One of the best cover pages I've seen. Anyways, where we last left off, obviously Selene showed up at the freaking labyrinth saying, oh, well, let's freaking mess around. Now, Gajil and, Loxus are both asking the question, like, okay, what the hell are you talking about? Who the hell are you? And why the hell did you bring us here? And stuff like that. And essentially, Selene goes and say anyone would have been fine as long as they were dragon slayers. Now, Elfseria's questioning, like, what are you trying to say, Selene? And this is when Selene tells Fairy Tale that she is now, well, the new Diablos master and everything, and they're all freaking shocked. And even Lucy's like, you joined a guild that eats dragons. What? And essentially Selene's like, well, you see, we share a common interest. Now she goes on to say, deep within this labyrinth lies Elfseria's heart, and I want it, which we kind of already figured out that she would want this. Now she deforms from her dragon form back into her human form. Yes, the very sexy looking human form, which again, let me just say this again, I'm so happy that 100 Year Quest is getting a freaking anime adaptation. So when we get to this arc, we will finally see Selene not in black and white anymore, in full color, and we will finally see her beautiness in full passion. Obviously, you can see I'm a simp for Selene. Yes. I'm a simp for Selene. I would have been the first person, if I was in that Diablos guild, I would have been, okay, I'm doing whatever you say. And stuff like that. So yes, I'm a simp for Selene because I think she's one of the best freaking Fairy Tale antagonists ever. It's okay. Listen, we're all simps for Selene. We're all simps. So listen, it's okay. Now Elfseria asked Selene, why do you need my heart and everything? And Selene's like, you ask even though you can guess. Now Selene goes on to say, what I want is the information that you don't even have about the location of the childish human weapon. Essentially, in the last chapter, how Elfseria was talking to Fairy Tale about the whole weapon that's another weapon that the Magic Council apparently had that is different than Face and freaking the Ethereum canon and everything. So, yeah, now Carla asked the question, like, what do you mean he doesn't know? Now Selene's like, through the power of the labyrinth, the power of his heart now exceeds the power of his body. However, if his body dies, this power will be lost. So it's the same thing. You kill Elfseria right here and now, essentially you can't gain his heart's power and everything. And that's when Selene essentially transports Elfseria forcefully to a different dimension and gets rid of him. And essentially Selene's like, well, I didn't want him trying to kill himself or anything, because if he kills himself, then guess what? All hopes is lost and stuff like that. Now, the funny thing is, Gajil and freaking Loxus, throughout this entire scene on the outside, they're like, I don't understand what the hell is going on, man. And that's what they kind of say this entire chapter. They're like, I don't know what's going on, but yeah. Now, don't ask me why Urza, Natsu, or the others just couldn't tell them, like, this is the chick we're fighting right now. This is one of the dragon gods we're fighting against and everything. And stuff like that. Well, but Selene, I guess, rebuttals and answers Lux's question, says, didn't I just tell you? This is a game, which we know Selene likes to play her mini games. She goes on to say there are 7 members of Diablos and there's 7 members of Fairy Tail. Which Happy is like, she didn't count any of us Xyz, huh? Okay, fine. So yeah. Now, this is when Selene's like, it will be a 7-on-7 battle. And the first team to find the heart is the winner. Now, Natsu's like, really? That sounds really fucking fun. And Gosh was like, the hell are you talking about, Salamander? And also, he's like, why the hell are you making us do this? And stuff like that. And he also even asked Selene, like, who the hell are you? Now, Wendy asked the question, so I take it you won't be participating. And Selene says, well, think of me as the sponsor who organized this whole ability. Why would I be fighting? I'm just here gonna want to watch you guys for fun and stuff like that, because we know from the last arc in Elfseria, Selene likes to watch and she doesn't like to really get her hands dirty unless she's forcefully has to. Now Urza is willing to get down and freaking start fighting Selene and everything. And so Urza's like, you must be freaking joking. That is it. I'm done with the bullshit. I'm done. I will cut you down right here and now. And Selene's like, and she gives that typical look where she's like, okay, you want to fight? Well then, get the heart and bring it back, and I'll grant your wish. And stuff like that. Which I find very freaking hilarious. The fact she gives that freaking, look where it's like, oh shit, you kind of don't want to fuck with her. But she gives that evil look where she's like, fine, I'll fight you, but bring me the heart. So yeah, now Luxus goes on to say, I still don't get what's going on, but the point is we got to beat the 7 members of Diablos and then get the heart in the labyrinth. And obviously Grace's like, well, now that Luxus is here, I feel a little bit better. And Lucy's like, well, don't get your expectations too high and stuff like that. And Selene gives the look like, interesting, or something like that. Now she's like, well, look, as long as I enjoy myself, fine by me, I'll take it. So Selene's kind of being like she was back in the Elfseria arc, where she's kind of just sitting idly by and watching the combatants do the battle instead of, like I said, getting her hands dirty. I feel like she's that type of character that just doesn't want to do things herself, and she'll just make people under her do things because she just sees this all as a game and she wants to be entertained. Which, even though Selene has really bad intentions, it's like at the same time, it's like it's not like she's not too bad, she just doesn't do things the right way. It's like she just gets a kick out of watching things. So listen, like I said, it's the same thing as Elfseria. She just wants to be entertained. And can you blame that girl? Well, technically she's a dragon, but can you blame her? So yeah. Anyways, she goes on to say, whether you win or if both sides die, the heart is mine to take. That's all that matters to me. So I'm good with that and everything. Listen, you guys are just entertainment to me, so that's it. Now Urza gives this freaking look in this one panel shot where she's just pissed off. Now I don't know if that's foreshadowing this whole beef is gonna be where Urza's gonna be the one to take Selene down. It's seeming like Urza's literally done with Selene's bullshit. And she looks like she wants to kill her. Now, as long as that happens and we don't get another BS Urza versus Irene type of situation again, more the merrier for me. I don't care. I'll take Urza versus Selene. I'm thinking that's what we're building to, from what we've seen here, because we see that Urza clearly wants to stop Selene with a burning passion. So maybe that's hinting out the fact that maybe Selene and Urza are gonna have to fight together, are gonna fight each other, and that's gonna be Urza. Well, it's not obviously gonna be Urza's main fight against the Diablos member, but maybe we get Urza versus Selene here, and then eventually Selene's too strong for Urza, and then Natsu eventually taps in, and then maybe he gets the win over Selene. Who knows? maybe they actually have Urza defeating a a dragon god in Selene. I'm perfectly cool with that. As long as they don't take it as the BS route they did in the Alvarez Empire when she fought against Irene, I'm more than merrier. So we'll definitely have to see where this goes. But it definitely looks from this chapter alone that Urza is sick and tired of Selene's games and she wants to throw down with her like now. So yeah, and Selene just proclaimed, she's like, the rules are simple. Take the heart and escape the labyrinth, which again, can you fault Selene? She's just having fun, man. She's just having fun. Now, Selene goes on to say there are 2 other rules. She goes on to say, firstly, the entrance will be blocked until one side is wiped out. In other words, until all 7 from either side are defeated, escape is essentially impossible. So essentially, she's barricading the doors in, and she's like, until you bring me the heart, I'm not letting none of you guys out. As well, tell on top of it, too, you got to defeat the full side of 7. So seemingly that means, well, it's going to come down to the wire. So I'm guessing the way they can take it is some Fairy Tail members get taken down, some Diablos members get taken down, and stuff like that. Anyways, she goes on to say, secondly, you mustn't not destroy the heart. I'll be keeping an eye on you in case you try anything funny. Essentially, it probably seemingly, again, like I said, unless provoked into doing things on her own hands, Selene's gonna get involved in these fights and stuff like that. So she's like, listen, don't get a funny idea and try to destroy the heart, because if you do that, I will kill you, essentially. That's what she's saying. That's essentially her threat, because we know she can travel across dimensions. I guarantee you she can travel throughout the labyrinth as freely, find who it is that she's looking for, and if she sees, oh, you destroyed what I'm looking for, well, I'm gonna kill you for that, and stuff like that. Now she goes on to say, you understand, right? Elfseria, who I sent to another dimension earlier, I have no use for him anymore. And I'm also guessing she probably can use this to the whole thing of, well, fine, I'll just kill Elfseria right now. And I know you probably don't want them. I just have no use for him anymore, so I don't really care what he does. I just want his heart. So yeah, now she's like, I relayed these rules to the Diablos members, and they've already started exploring the labyrinth. So she eventually transports the Fairy Tail members into the labyrinth, and Loxus makes the mention of the fact that, well, no, it's not Loxus. Gajil said the thing like, oh, this is how she got us to come here and everything. And obviously Loxus is like, this is how we're gonna go into the labyrinth and stuff like that. So you have the whole thing where they're sent, and freaking Selene's like, let the games begin. So I definitely do like Selene. Selene is just a great character. I love Selene. She also tells the bird, like, hey, would you care to watch with me? I got it all on a video here. So, yeah, again, how much can we say? Selene is just so great as a character, as well as she's just so sexy. I know, I'm too much of a simp. Please, someone slap me across the head so I can stop this stuff. I'd probably be a mindless fool. Anyways, we see that some members of Fairy Tail are kind of essentially on their own. We see it to where, well, Gajil's on his own, but instead of having Lily by his side, he actually has frickin' Carla by his side. So we got Gajil and Carla, which is a very unique pairing there and stuff like that. And Wendy actually has Lily. And what I found funny is Wendy's holding Lily like how she holds Carla in her arms. And Wendy eventually realizes, she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do that, I thought you were Carla. And freaking Lily's like, no, it's okay, Wendy, it's fine, and stuff like that. So they're together, which I find nice, because both Gajil and Wendy's X-Seeds can actually transform and fight. So in a way, they're kind of assist buddies and everything, so I do like that. Obviously, Natsu's with Happy, and Lucy, and then Gray and Urz are together, which I think is a unique pairing as well from the standpoint. And they're just kind of talking, and they bring up the fact that the labyrinth looks like is, a very complex, thing, and the fact that we might not know our way around here. Now, Urza does make the mention, well, we got 4 Dragon Slayers, so they might be able to smell our scents in here, But I highly doubt that's gonna probably be the case because, well, it's a labyrinth and it's pretty harsh. But essentially, that's the thing there, and that's when Gray's like, well, if they can sense smells, then maybe the Diablo's members will be able to smell us as well and stuff like that. So, you know, we have to keep our guard up, and that's what Urza's like. Well, we got to keep our guard up then, and obviously, you know, you get a funny comedic scene where Urza's like, "Would you like me to hold your hand, Gray, like we did back in the old days when you were little," and stuff like that. And Gray is like, the reason why it's scary is because you actually freaking mean it. So I'm guessing back in the day when they were younger, Gray and Urza were holding hands, and probably not in a romantic way, just the whole thing of the whole trope where Urza continuously messed with Gray and Natsu when they were younger. Like, one of the biggest things is that, well, Gray and freaking Natsu took a bath with Urza, and my god, they look so damn traumatized. I remember that one episode in Fairy Tail when Urza's like, "Would you mind to take a bath with me?" And Natsu were like, yeah, no, we do not want that. So that's funny and everything. Anyways, Natsu's eventually hyped up with the whole fact that they're in this labyrinth and they're looking for the heart and everything. So, yeah. But then Lucy is stuck in a wall. You get a very comedic scene between Natsu and Happy where they're laughing at Lucy being stuck in the wall. You get a fan service moment where freaking Natsu is like, "I wonder what the back looks like." And he literally goes around and he sees freaking Lucy's ass right then and there. And literally, when I'm telling you, the freaking panel where they show Lucy's butt, I think you can actually get a good look at her underwear. And I'm like, well, more fan servicey scenes. I wonder how they're gonna do with this in the anime when this comes out. That's what the standpoint. More Natsu, Nalu shipping scenes where Natsu is just looking at Lucy's butt for willy-nilly because he knows he's gonna tap that butt eventually. So the thing is, Lucy is very pissed off at Natsu. She's like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you if you keep freaking looking," and stuff like that. So yeah, now Lucy's begging Natsu, "Please, just get me out of here." So Natsu's like, "Okay, fine, I'll get you out." But he punches the labyrinth's walls, and actually, the walls of the labyrinth are actually not destroyed. They're still intact, and there's no damage being harmed. So I'm guessing you have to, I'm guessing you have to envision this is because of Doramog's, you know, power of creating this labyrinth, and it just makes the walls. And all of a sudden, we see one of the Diablo's members comes out and goes on to say, "It's strange, isn't it? The walls of the labyrinth cannot be broken by any sort of force." And the character goes on to say, "But that's to be expected, right? The walls, if they could be broken, it wouldn't be much of a labyrinth." And that's when one of the most interesting pairings we see here is the fact that Haku, the white tiger dragon, actually confronts Natsu and Lucy. And Haku introduces, I can't tell if this is a dude or a girl. I don't know. I think it's a dude. I don't know. Haku introduces, I'll say himself, and goes on to say that, well, I'm one of the I'm one of Diablo's dark dragon slayer knights. And Natsu's like, "Diablos, a kid like this?" And I'm like, Natsu, come on, dude. You kind of have a kid in Wendy in your guild. You shouldn't underestimate these people, especially from the standpoint, you know how strong Wendy is. Essentially, Haku is like, "Don't worry, I'll make sure to get your friend out of the wall." So he uses his magic on Lucy, and the chapter ends off with Lucy turned into a doll. And that's where we're left off. So Haku can turn people into dolls, I'm guessing, is a bit of his magic power, which is very interesting to say the least. And it definitely is interesting to see where this whole thing is gonna be going. But I definitely did like this chapter. Again, this chapter was purely just for setup, just to set the fight, and seemingly we're gonna get Natsu versus Haku. A matchup I never thought I was getting. Not that we're gonna get Haku versus Wendy, but hey, Mashimo is making things odd. So definitely gonna be interesting to see where this is gonna be going. But yeah. Anyways, if you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's manga chapter of Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest, as well as hit that subscribe button to get more fairy tale content, as well as any other anime content I upload to the channel. Other than that, guys, I'm gonna get it for guys. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. I don't have a chance this video. Until then, guys, see you guys later. Peace.